Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man Snowball Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Bell's Brewing Company out of Comstock, Michigan. So this is a classic in my opinion. This is Bell's Hopslam Ale. It's their double IPA with honey. So this was at one time considered by a lot of people the best double IPA in the world. Now, that is certainly not the case anymore, and a lot of the argument is, did the beer change? Did people's taste change? What happened? Because in my opinion, it's not just a matter of going from classic, like, West Coast style to hazy, and everyone likes the hazy now. Because a lot of people still like Pliny the Elder, a lot of people still like Headhunter, so there's something else to it. And I admit, like 10 years ago, 2008, 2009, 2009 was when the big hop shortage happened. So in a lot of people's opinions, that's when the recipe changed, and it kind of stayed that way forever. Because they actually did say that they changed the recipe then because of the hop shortage, but there was never any comment about if it changed back or anything like that. I personally, when I've had it, I've always thought that it's mostly my taste, but I do think that they did change the beer a little bit. But I have had, I do get a can of this every year, can/bottle. It used to be bottled, now it's canned. I do get a bottle/can of it every year, just for nostalgia reasons and to see how it is that year. Because I used to hunt this thing down like no one's business. And I love Bell's. They're still doing great beer. So I never feel bad about, giving them my business, even if it means just only buying one can just to try it. But I always try to get at least one can every year for nostalgia reasons, just to try it and see what I think of it. Yeah, and this, I already said what the type of beer is. It is 10.0 ABV, so I'm going to crack it open and hope for the best. And I did look on the bottom before I opened this. This was canned on January 15th, and today is February 9th. So it's basically, it's less than a month old. It's like 3.5 weeks. So when something's distributed, across the country or whatever, getting it with only like slightly over 3 weeks old is pretty fresh. So if I don't like it, it's definitely not because it's old. So we'll see. But I am glad to. I know I was doing these videos. I believe I had started them more than a year ago, but I'm pretty sure I did not do one last year for Hopslam, so I'm excited to finally give it a proper review on this channel and see what we got. So anyways, as you can see, it pours a darker orange color, almost has like an amber hue to it, with about a finger's worth of a pretty fluffy white head. I do have to say, it smells pretty nice. There's a lot of... so the one character that I always remembered Hopslam having was this big, juicy pineapple flavor. I never knew what the hop varietals in the beer were. I'm sure Bell's has said what it is for... Or I'm sure they've said it at some point in time, but I never knew what they were, but I always thought that it had such a big, like, pineapple character. And I am kind of getting that out of this. It's like a mix of pineapple and grapefruit, which I know Simcoe can put off a lot of pineapple character, which would make sense, too, because when this first started getting big is when Simcoe, like, really came onto the scene, so... You know what? I gotta say that wow, um, that tastes like Hopslam used to taste like. Holy crap! Uh, so I don't even know if it's my complaint, but general complaints have always been in the more recent years with all the hazy stuff that it's way too malty, it's too boozy, whatever. Well, it's 10% double IPA, so I'll throw the booziness complaint out the window because you're gonna, you know, with the hazy ones, it's easier to cover up the booze anyways. So if you take that away from it, people say, "Oh, well, it's too malty." Well, I kind of get that. I'm not getting out of this, but I kind of understand why people would say that. But I mean, I'm sure it's not their intention, but these classic double IPAs actually have like a caramely malt backbone, so they didn't. It wasn't just completely flooded with hops, where that's all you taste, and then as soon as they start falling off, it doesn't. It just tastes like a cardboardy, oxidized, watery, bitter mess. That's not what these older double IPAs were. So, compared to today, yeah, I absolutely agree that it's malty, but this specifically is not nearly as malty as I remember. Sorry, I had some of that funk factor I had earlier today seems to be really getting me in the heartburn character. That's why I'm burping a little bit. But I mean, you can even see. I mean, look at it. It's obviously has some malt body to it. It's not, it's not straw color. It's not even golden color. It's definitely darker than that. But that's why people say if you let this sit for like 2 years, it kind of turns into a barley wine because it actually has a legitimate malt backbone, which I get that, and that used to be a thing 10 years ago. They just kept with the tradition. But honestly, knowing what I remember it tasting like and knowing what my preferences are now with beer, I think this is as close as they've ever gotten. At least I would say in the last 5 years to creating what I remember this beer being like. Because I just remember it having this big, bright pineapple hop character, which I am getting, in a big booze character, which I am also getting, and really not too much maltiness, which I think that was the thing that the last couple of vintages I thought it was kind of malty, like people said. This, I mean, I could see this turning over into that pretty quickly, but right now, while it's super fresh, it is not that. It is big, bright hop and booze, and that's exactly what I remember it being. So, I gotta say, I dig this. I really do. This can for me was $4, which I think is worth it anyways, but I only bought a single of it, so obviously a single was marked up. I'm guessing a 6-pack of this is probably like $15 to $18, which, $3, $2.75 to $3 a can of this. As long as you get it now and you get it fresh, I think it's absolutely worth it. And I just like throwback stuff anyways, but even if it's not a throwback factor, I still just think it's a really clean, nice, strong, hoppy double IPA. So, I mean, to me, it's really similar to Fathead's Hop Juju, just not quite as juicy, but it's really similar in the vein it is. So yeah, this is definitely a buy for me. I might actually buy a 6-pack now. I'm so glad this is actually, excuse me, as good as it is. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.